hello there, I didn't see you there. Don't sneak it up on me, that you are, yeah. Well, in this video, I want to show you how to sharpen a card scraper, just like this one here. Now, I've had this one several years, and I didn't buy it, no. Well, originally I might have used an old saw like this one, because I like to make my own card scrapers, because I do like to make my own tools whenever I can, or restore old tools whenever I can. Quite often they're better. Plus I can make any shape I like. In this case, this is just an ordinary card scraper, hence it's like card shape, you know, it's a little rectangle. Now, first of all though, what is the card scraper used for? Now, if you're using a hand plane, such as this little Stanley Bailey No. 4 smoothing plane, and you're playing it away, and you have a lot of grain going up in all different directions, a bit like this piece here. Because if you look here, you've got, a good indication there. The grain's going up there and up there, it's all over the place. So when you try and play it, you get a lot of tear out, because of the figure on that, you know? You get a hell of a lot of tear out, because that's near a knot. So whatever direction you go in, you're going to get a problem in one way or the other. Well, the solution is the card scraper, and that's why you should have a card scraper if you want to do a good job. Unfortunately, many people are not that bothered these days. It seems a sign of the times. It started with music. You know, like MP3s instead of LPs. Vinyl, that is. Anyway, so if you're using a hand plane like this, you can end up with a load of tear out. Okay, so put it on one side, so we're going to use that. Okay, now, what you get is, you see, you actually can get quite a nice shaving with a little card scraper such as this. Oop, I slipped. There you go, there's a shaving off my card scraper. And it's not too sharp, it's sharp enough, but, you know, for the purpose of this video. But you can see here, you create a lovely, very, very thin and very fragile shaving, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you down in a minute. No, the wood, no, that wood. Flipping in. Could get myself in trouble, I am. Anyway, a shaving, all right? Just from a flat piece of steel, not a fancy plane. No, really easy to do. So let's say, for instance, you made yourself a new scraper and you're going to, well, sharpen it for the first time. Well, there's 3 things you're going to have to do. And we're going to do it in a video. So bear with us and play along. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you down to this little old vise down here. Bring you a little bit closer so you can see what's going on. And you've got to look at my ugly mug. There you go. Okay. Oh, you've got to look at my dodgy fingers. Look at that finger down. They're horrible. I cut it. I sliced it with a Stanley knife. That's before health and safety. All right, what you're going to need is a file. There are other ways of doing this. I've done it on a burnisher, you know, like a belt sander before. But let's use the file because it's kind of the traditional way of doing it. You're also going to need a block of wood like this, which happens to have a slot in it. I cut this slot just with a bandsaw on the fence. I just, you know, cut a slot in there. You can do it with a handsaw, doesn't matter. All it's got to do is be able to, well, hold your card scraper, just like so. And then you'll place that in the vise. So the first thing we've got to do is, now I marked which one, the good one, that's a good face, and that's the bad face, that's not doing anything. It's a bit of a burr there, but it's nothing to speak of. Right, so what we'll do is we'll place that in here, and I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this first stage. The first stage is to prepare the edge. We're going to do it by putting it into there, into these jaws, and then place that into the vise like so. There's loads of ways of doing this, but I'm just going to show you a couple. So we'll place that in there like that. I'm sure there's professional woodworkers out there. Oh, don't do it like that. Well, fine. Tell me how you do it, and I'll be happy to listen, you know. Don't have to be sort of arrogant about it, because some people are. I don't know, I get some funny comments. So, all right, so you got your flat file. It's just an ordinary flat file, not a bastard file, which would be a half-round file with a wide cut. This is quite a fine cut. And we're going to just go sideways along our actual card scraper, just a few strokes. And the idea is you're going to get rid of any imperfections, but also flatten the surface. But there's another way of doing it. Now, the other way of doing it is actually using your diamond stones. And you could use an oil stone if you like, such as that one. Yeah, that'll work as well. But I'm still going to use this. And I'm going to put this in a har, which is there's a couple of diamond stones in there at the moment. I can't find the third one. It's missing. It's in a drawer somewhere probably. I think Mrs. helped me tidy up. Got to blame the missus, you know. It's obviously not my fault. of course. Now, I will demonstrate as well and explain what we're going to be doing as well regarding producing the hook. Because what you have, I've got to get the hook. I'm trying to hook you at the moment as well, so keep watching. So, anyway, while you're here, please boot the old like button because it helps the channel, you know. Yeah, and maybe a little bell icon with the subscribe and all that, and then you get one face in your pocket every time I upload another video. Okay, so you can actually flatten it using your diamond stones. I'm going to use a coarse one here. I'll put a bit of a Windex on there, basically Windoline, and then place it on there like so. I'll push it down, okay, and I'll grip it here. All right, squeeze it. So that you'll grip your actual card and it won't move, hopefully. All right, so I'm going to push it down like so, and that makes sure the card is at 90 degrees to the actual stone. And you just move back and forth like so. I'm applying a pressure here as well. I'm just using that as a guide. You go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And if you want to get really fussy and all that, you can then move up a grade, such as that. So on to the final one. Like that. And what we're doing is we're creating a perfectly flat face on the edge of the actual card scraper. And it hasn't been sharpened for a very long time. And like I say, you'd use the same process if you were starting from a fresh. So you just cut your card scraper out, and you've got a reasonably flat face. You'd use that to actually for your cutting face. Now, if you're struggling to, so there's another way you can do this is if you use that as your cutting edge. If you make one out of a handsaw, then the back edge doesn't necessarily matter so much if you're not going to sharpen both faces. Alright, so that is nice and smooth now. So now we can remove it from there. Alright, like I say, it's just a piece of wood with a slot and that's all it is. Okay, and I want to use the finer stone. And I'm going to clean up the faces. Because what you want is, you got, basically the flats need to be obviously true and in line. So we just literally put it on there like so. And like backwards and forwards. Try and apply equal pressure over the entire side of the actual card scraper. Now, I have done this so many times. And I don't always do it like this. This is what you do when you first prep up. You know, once you've actually got that hook, you can actually maintain that hook. You know, you can keep it going. And then as you get to a stage, where, oh, I've got to do it again. And then you go through this process again. The normal sharpening, you can just do it with the burnisher. So I'm looking on the face here, on the side face here. I'm trying to make sure that there's no imperfections. A magnifying glass or one of those little microscopes that you can get that plugs into your phone will work as well. And just see if there's any imperfections. And you just literally just polish away until you're satisfied they're all gone. And then we turn it over again and do exactly the same thing again on the other face. Now, some people think you create a burr and you're cutting with the burr. No, the burr is effectively your wire edge, and that'll just break off. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a hook, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. So I've polished off both faces now. I'm quite satisfied. They feel lovely and smooth. Smooth as a baby's bottom that hasn't got nappy rash. Right, okay, so now I'm done with this. Move this out of the way. Diamond sharpener's out of the way. This is a rubbishy little vise. It's just a little silver line vise. Oh, I might do a video about it because it ain't great. Right, you're going to need one of these. Now, you could buy yourself a burnisher, just like this one here. All right, Lee Nielsen make one, Veritas make one, loads of companies make burnishers. You don't need to buy a burnisher. It's just stupid amounts of money for what really is a hardened rod. Yes, got your own hardened rod in the form of a drill bit like this. Now, that's what I tend to use. And I don't use an old drill bit that is all nailed up here because it's been spun around in the chuck. No, don't do that. You're better off buying a new drill bit ready, or if you've got one that's got no damage on it. I then use that as a virgin cut into a handle like so. So I've got something to hold on to. And I don't, you could bond it in there if you want, but I don't find feel there's any need. All right, so the face that we're working is this one. I put a mark on that one. That's the one that's okay. So we're going to work this face. And all you've got to do, Just hold it down there like so. It's ideal if you've got a stop. I've got a natural stop there in the top. I mean, literally, I usually go away from myself. It doesn't really matter, you can go both ways if you like. And you literally use that very hard steel and you press it down. Oh, I'll go both ways, like that. Okay. I feel like going both ways. I'm swinging both ways, I am. Oh dear. Don't tell the missus. No. So there we go. on one face. You do that about 30 odd times. I don't know how many counting, but never mind, just keep going. All right. Oh dear, slipping now. Oh dear. All right, so. And what you're doing is you're sort of like trying to force, and you're creating a bit of a, well, sort of a burr, I suppose. You're sort of moulding the steel over a little bit. So you're bending the steel over just on the edge, a tiny amount. The other nice thing about using something like the drill bit, you can spin it around, do a different side. It doesn't spin around on itself, which is good. All right, that must be 30 times now. And then we spin it over on the other face, like so. It's such a useful tool, the card scraper, especially if you've got really awkward timber with figured grain going all over the place. So it's definitely worth having one in the arsenal. So backwards and forwards like that, about 30 odd times. Maybe more, maybe less. It really depends on, also on, you know, this, on the state of things as well, you know, and the quality of the steel. Now, if you've got a reasonable handsaw, you'll find the steel, you know, that you've cut one from, you'll probably find the steel's plenty good enough for the purpose. Or just buy some card scrapers, then, you know, they're not expensive. Now, what I've done is I've created this weird burr on the end here now. There is a burr there, but it's facing that way. So I'll do some little drawings of it and show you. So now what we're going to do is, well, the best way to do it is put it into here. Okay, to hold it. So use your, you don't have to do it this way, but this way actually I'll ensure that I've got it nice and firm. Or you can just straighten the vise. I'm showing off. I'm very pleased with my little burnisher, it's really good. And now we're going the other way, so we're going over the top. That way, back. And so those two burrs that I created, not technically burrs really, but you know, where I've sort of manipulated or folded the metal over, I'm now bending it back to create a hook. And you do it as many times as you feel necessary to do so. Keep it at 90 degrees, you know, perpendicular to the side of the scraper. Now, you can tell with your finger if it's sharp, and I can feel there's an edge there now. I've created a hook. Now, like I say, I'll show you a minute what I mean by that. Let's grab this piece of wood, this piece of old window section, put that in the vise. Now we know the face on it, you're not kidding, that's the face that's already sharp. This is the one we just did. Now I'm not editing this video. That might not be sharp enough yet, I might have to work it a bit more, but let's see. Got a bottle in my way now. No, it's not a bottle of bourbon, it's Windex. Alright, see what it's like. There you go, let's see. Probably do a bit more work, but it now actually does have, instead of creating just dust, now I've actually bent that hook over too far. I'm going to have to lean over too much on it, so it's bent over too far. But you know, you get the gist, don't you? Let's try that side. See? Not quite as good as the other face yet, because I probably want some bit more work, but then the video will be ridiculously long. It's already quite long, because I'm not editing, you see. So, this is the one that we just did, which needs a bit more work with the burnisher. This is the one from the other face. As you can see, it's more of a shaving. So it definitely needs more work, but it just needs more burnishing, basically, until I get that hook exactly how I want it. Yeah, I can feel it. It's there, definitely there. But I think what I've done is I've actually accidentally folded the hook over too far. But anyway, let me just show you what I mean by the hook. So we have a very clever technical device over here, which I'm going to... See how technical that is? All right, let's bring it over around a bit. Okay. Now you've got a card scraper, which is basically, if you think of the profile around here, that's the edge of your piece of wood, isn't it, you know? Sort of. Right, edge of your card scraper, not piece of wood, edge of your card scraper. Okay, and I know I've exaggerated. Obviously, it's not to scale. But let's say, for instance, the edge that we've just been manipulating. Okay, let's think it being a lot wider than that, because obviously it wouldn't be that thick, would it? Now, the first stage with the burnisher, what we effectively did was create that. Yeah. The second stage with the burnisher, okay, what we did was we effectively folded those over to create a hook. Get down a bit. Oh, it's like exercise. It's like I'm doing the squats. Anyway, so the second stage is we bent them over with the burnisher, which is this, and we created the hook, which is like that, on both faces. So I'll be sort of like that. Okay, and that, okay, stick my hands in the way. And that point here, which will go to a very sharp edge, and my dry white pen's not really fine enough to show you, will be a very sharp, anyway, that'll be sharp, okay? Oh, what am I doing? Because I'm looking at it cat-handed. So be sharp on that edge where you burnished the edges back over. So first of all, we made them vertical, like a couple of little peaks like that, and then what we did, we then bent them over like that. That's basically what we did, and that is the edge that creates the shaving. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Very cat-handed, I know, but there you go. That's me all over, isn't it? I probably made it look a bit more complicated than it needed to be, but it is actually really easy. And if you just once you got your edge, all you've got to do is just stick it in the vise or in your jaws like this and put it in the vise, and just you can even do it on site, you know, and you can create a nice edge quite easily. My father used to hold like this, you know, that's how he used to do it, and he was a hell of a craftsman. You know, my dad worked on Norwich Cathedral, making the hatches and the spire. Norwich Cathedral. My grandfather is also, my great grandfather was also a master craftsman. He built all the display cabinets in the Castle Museum. So we've got heritage, you see. There you go, Norfolk boy. That's me. Anyway, you tell me what you think. How do you sharpen your card scrapers? Do you even use one? Do you find a need to use one? Are you happy with the finish that you're getting? You wouldn't be once you start using the card scraper. You'll realise I don't even need the sand anymore. Yeah, that's how good they are. So I'd like to hear what you have to say anyway. So it's time for me to go. So I'm going to say ta-ta, you know. And I'm not editing this video, so I do apologise. It's a bit on the long side. But you get all of me, you see. All the little nooks, crooks and crannies. All the bells and the whistles. And no, I'm not wearing a mankini. Don't forget, boot, like and subscribe, and maybe the little bell icon, because then you get one first video in your pocket every time I upload another video. And I hope you'll be excited about that. Get yourself a card scraper. Toodaloo.